If we constantly see this type of content on YouTube, people who are new to language learning might think that this is the benchmark or the standard. Hello, bonjour, 안녕하세요, konnichiwa, marhaba, and hello in all the other languages. It is a long time since I've made a video. Thank you for your patience. I've been really busy with exciting things. I'm excited to share that today was my first time speaking live on television in Hungarian, and it was absolutely terrifying. Minden tőlem kérdeznek, hogy miért pont magyarul. De nagyon jó a kérdés, én is igazából nem tudom. Csak tudom, hogy nagyon érdekes.
Nem is kell tudni, ha egyszerűen valami...
I read on Twitter somebody wrote, if something scares them, but they want to do it, they're gonna do it anyway. And that's really my motto for the rest of the year. Even if it's scary, I'm gonna try. So I'll post a video of how that went and what it was like. But there have been really exciting things happening in my life. I'm so excited to be sharing with you more about working within the language learning, education, and app space. So do keep your eyes peeled. There are exciting things coming in the next few months. And tonight I am sharing a talk at a Turkish school. I am not allowed to mention the name, but I will be sharing about finding your language story. And I will also be posting that on my channel soon. It's all about your language learning narrative and a bit of background on my language learning timeline as well. One of the most common questions I receive is sort of what does your language timeline look like? Which language did you learn when? So hopefully that video coming soon will answer a bit of your questions. But today's video is not really a life update. I received a very interesting question, and it is from Eva asking, what do you think about videos like how to learn Spanish in 1 week, how I became fluent in Russian in 1 month? And everyone has a different definition of the term fluency, but from Eva's point of view, it takes years to become fluent. Love your channel. Thank you very much, Eva. Great question. Now, I'm definitely not one for YouTube drama, polyglot drama, and I know quite a few videos have been made on exposing fake polyglots or what I really think about YouTube polyglots who are fluent in 1 week. I'm not that type of person to like call people out. You do you, you know, people are sometimes on YouTube just for the clicks, and I know that that kind of clickbait is probably helping these people earn a lot of money. It's not really my style, but anyway, let's dive into the topic. What do I think about how I became fluent in 1 month type of videos? Okay, I do have 2 videos on my channel about my thoughts regarding fluency. This is highly debated even within the language learning community. People say fluency is, you know, only once you've reached CFR level C2. Other people say, well, if you're fluid, if you can communicate, you're fluent. I'm not really going to touch on that because I have made 2 videos on that. But on the topic of these videos like how I became fluent in 1 week or 1 month, I find 2 major problems with these. The first one is that it's misleading to young and new audiences or people new to language learning. If you are bombarded by videos on YouTube that promote or fake or try and say that learning a language to fluency can happen within a month or a week, you start to think that that is the benchmark. Now, I'm not saying this is completely impossible. That's a whole other story. It all depends on the amount of effort and practice you put in, because you could be learning a language for 5 years and barely speak as well as someone who's only been learning for 3 months. Really, time is relative. It's what you do with the time that matters. If we constantly see this type of content on YouTube, people who are new to language learning might think that this is the benchmark or the standard. So that after a week or a month, if you're not fluent, if you're struggling to communicate, you're gonna think, what's wrong with me? Why am I not doing a good job at language learning compared to everyone else on the internet? I'd like to remind you not to believe everything you see online. People are doing this for views, for clickbait, for showing off, for entertainment value. That's fine, that's their prerogative, but please don't take this as the baseline, the standard, or the source of truth for language learning at all. And the second issue is, I'm not sure how long-term or scalable this is. If you start a language from zero and you learn for a week, you can learn a lot. You will go from not knowing anything to being able to say a few sentences, introduce yourself, talk about interesting things. You can definitely learn a lot. So showing your progress in a week, so let's say going from 0 to 1 week or 1 month, your progress is going to be like that. Of course, the results are going to look amazing. But over time, over months and years, the rate at which you improve your language abilities is not as sharp, not as steep. These videos do look impressive. People can learn a lot within a month, but maybe if you do a progress update within a few months or a few years, it's not that sharp. And that's why these videos do so well, because people watch them and they think, oh my goodness, this person is incredible for having learned this much in a few weeks. Whereas if you kind of make a video with, here's my progress in 5 years, it doesn't even sound that impressive, right? But I think the more we see these types of videos, the more we feel like pressured to produce results at a shorter rate. And people forget how much time and effort goes into language learning. So to close off, I'll touch on something I mentioned at the start of this video is it really depends on what you do with your time. I don't think we should be measuring language learning progress by the amount of time we've spent. Usually our questions to other people are, how long have you been learning French or Italian or whatever? Maybe we should be asking, how much time have you spent with it? How often do you interact with it? Not that we should be judging people's levels, but I think those are types of questions that can give us a better answer. For instance, I've been learning Vietnamese for a lot longer. I started a long time ago compared to Hungarian. My Vietnamese is pretty rusty. It's not great, but my Hungarian is a lot better than my Vietnamese. And that's because every day or every week, I spend more time and more hours on Hungarian than I do with Vietnamese. So even if I started dabbling in Vietnamese in university and only started Hungarian after I started working, they're at completely different levels. So I don't think we should be using time as a framework to measure language abilities or progress, but rather how much effort, practice, and immersion we get in the languages. I also want to say I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't make these types of videos. I just have a bit of an issue because of the way they can be interpreted as being the benchmark or something to strive for. This month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I think we should all be taking care of how we approach thinking about languages. Everything is so competitive online. We should just take it easy and do what works for us and not be distracted by how fast or how slow other people are going. Language learning is a very personal journey, and as I always say, it takes a really long time. Of course, within a small time frame, you can learn a lot, going from 0 to being able to speak a bit, but it takes years to really polish and practice a language. I hope that has been helpful. These are just my thoughts, and I'd love to hear what you think about the topic as well. So thanks for the question, Eva, and I'll see you guys in the comments. Bye!